Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another day of the Astrogravitational Report and wisdom with it. Um, Following the energies, are you? There has been a lot of energies going around, and especially we're talking about this shadow, what it comes up. Right now, you find out that you're coming out of the shadow, but the shadow's pulling you down. And that's what the immaturity will shows up to some of you. Talking about this immaturity, it is about personal growth. Okay, that's what it's mean. Mature, personal growth, and you might find out things of the shadow. You might find out situations. You might find this. And with those who's watching the first few minutes of the report, not going hour by hour, today gonna be facing. Be mindful about the messages you send out and the messages you receive, because nothing it seems as what it is. Especially within the shadow, when it's involved the shadow, when it's an evolving things, that is, they don't have clear things, clear situations inside of you. You need to understand that the shadow, the fakeness, the matrix we're living within is not pretty. Currently, the way we are going is not pretty. Those currently situations of shadow and blindfoldness and so on and so on is so huge. But that's what we are living in. So, talking about today, the moon is going to be transitioning into Sag. There's going to be a lot of messages coming in. You're going to be seeking the divine messages, the divine guidance. It's going to coming up around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock situations. And throughout the day is going to be trigger everything from within you. Since the energies they are rising up for it, that is going to be, of course, the Sun and Mars, which is they're going to be rising on the horizon in the morning. You're going to find out later on about those same similar energies, what they're going to be doing in the afternoon at that fourth, third house, leading from bringing at that information situations at home and how you're going to be acting friendly from within. So talking about this, about it is be mindful about the messages. I'm saying it again. So let me bring you the chart in there. For those who's following the report, an hour by hour, and more interesting even to learn. So we here is what happens in the morning. Very similar diagram as yesterday energies. It's kind of like following up with this, but Venus is staying in its toes. Venus, the love, it stays in it there. Mercury, who is responsible for messages, is working with Jupiter for the personal growth. You're going to be receiving those for a while. But since your intuition, which is the moon, it's moving, she's at the 15 degrees of Sag. That is her energy. That is, she's in the second house when you get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you're going to be looking at what's going on in the material world, trying to use your spiritual to fix your material situations. Why? Because the moon, first of all, is in the second house, which is represents Taurus. But what is in Taurus? That we have Uranus and Jupiter that are both retrograde. Learn the material stuff in the earth. Before you perform, you have to learn. And this is why certain things doesn't happening right now. Or if you try to happen, universe is like hold your horses. Things will come up. If it doesn't happen now, that doesn't mean no. It mean not now. But the impatience that comes in from Mars and the Sun, from Scorpio towards that, can be devastated at some point. And if you feel like energy, you don't have to do certain things at this time. That doesn't mean that you don't have to be mindful. Okay, you gotta be mindful for the future, but don't miss the expense of the moment. I am here talking about a phrase from Star Wars. So, talking about the energies, they're gonna be a little better at 8 o'clock there. As you see at the moon, it's going to be squaring midheaven. Some of you is going to be looking, what is going on with this? Why can I find an answer? Why can I find this? You got to look at it in your soul, not someplace else. Go dive from within. Stop looking for an outside source. And this is why sometimes the people they're looking for up to the skies and try to help themselves. But God says, before you asking me for help, did you try to help yourself before you come to me? That is a sometimes you have to look within yourself, especially within this shadow. If you created the mess, can you clean up the mess yourself before you asking somebody else? Because it's more easier somebody else to clean the mess compared to you, but it's more easy if somebody helps you to get out of that. Yes, help is a given, but the question is about don't create the mess and don't pull the people back into your own mess. That is what this shadow period is. And talking about this period of this shadow, you're gonna see it that energy is gonna be really clearly stated in there because it's right between Mercury and the Moon. We are talking about those energies up here of those messages that you're going to get, how they're going to be resonated. And the Moon, it's within divine aspect right here with Uranus. That is the conflict point of the Sun and Mars. Use your internal guidance, your internal intuitions instead of going out and pushing things through. Let that things that by you coming out of the shadow, you to bring that darkness from within, this energies of what you find within yourself out. Spoke about it, discuss about it. That's what this messaging should be. Okay. But if someone comes with the messages, it points finger towards you, blame, shame, guilt tripping, boy, you're in the wrong communications. Okay, because those are the people who's gonna put you back into that shadow instead of resolving the shadow. And talking about these situations, there's gonna be some triggers because it's all related with a relationships. We're talking about midheaven that's gonna be at Libra. Okay, squaring Pluto. Have you changed? Have you matured to have a mature conversations of dealing with the situations, or you just the others is always wrong and I'm the right one? Can you look your own self in there? Okay. And before you go and out point fingers towards somebody else, can you look at yourself? Huge maturity. But that is the follow it from the previous day. Did you grow up in there? If you haven't watched the yesterday's report, I suggest you to watch it. There's a lot of tips in there. So, talking about later on, the ascendant is going to be at Capricorn. Would you perform? Who has to perform the love? Yeah, but there has got to be a cardinal changes in there in the love, and the cardinal changes is require what? Uncomfortable growth. The growth doesn't grow in a comfort zone. Universe gonna make you uncomfortable. Hey, you wanted that situations, fix first you so you can have that situation. You can deserve these things. Okay. And that is going to be a kind of like a trigger to some people. It's like, what is going on with my love? What is going on with my relationship? What is going on within this? Why I don't see this? Well, do you do a work for the relationship to work? Kind of like a big trigger, especially if you have something within the first degrees of Capricorn. There, be mindful about your own personal chart, and that is going to be some triggers. But those triggers, they are going to be leading to growth. Okay, you see that red line that comes in here, the squaring between Venus and the ascendant that is going to be at this time, but they're going to leading to what? Growth. Your growth. Yeah, and later on, if you do the work, you're going to be satisfied of your work. If you've seen a satisfying Capricorn that it's very happy with what he did and what the transformations was done, this cardinal performance and satisfactions on earth. There you go, you have it. Guess what? That energy is going to be very powerful with Mars and the Sun. It's going to be a blessing with the visions that it's been in here. That ascendant and Pluto is going to be happy with the universe. So is the universe is going to be happy with you. Not the conflict, but it's going to be happy with the work. Because the work that you do on yourself, it's also half reflecting outside within the universe. It's not only about you. If you're only thinking about you and so on and so on, and you do this inner work only for your entire purpose, your effects of the energies, they're creating magnetic field that spreads around. And that's how you become the personal example of this, the way you mature. Talking about later on at 1 o'clock, midheaven, it's going to be right there with those divine messages. Pay attention to that energy at 1 o'clock. You're going to hear something, you're going to see something. Somebody's going to say something. Somebody's going to be out there for your growth and so on. But there's going to be some also messages from the universe towards you about the conflict, the inner conflict inside of yourself. How you going to handle this? If you're Aquarius, you're gonna be okay with the moon. Listen to this intuitions talking about this 15 degree of Aquarius. So that energy of Aquarius right now, it's entwined with Venus. Let me tell you, revolutions within love right now is on. You're gonna feel it. Okay, it's. I was just listening to this, the song, the final countdown. I suggest you to listen it as well. But talking about this in there, that some of the old stuff within you, they're gonna be removed and exiled. But when you get in this new situations, some people maybe is gonna comes into you and say, "Hey, you've changed. What happened to you?" I only think you're gonna be replying, "Evolve." Okay, people's gonna be saying that you change, but they don't see the reason why you change. But because they take it personally, they love your old self. You dissolve that old self. You're different right now. They're wondering why. Well, evolving. Evolutions in soul is also required. Maturity in spirit. So talking about our maturity and spirit, it's mystery ways. And sometimes your own thinking about your own self is can be like, oh well, I can't do this, I cannot do that, and so on, so on. Well, if you put yourself down, everyone will put you down. But if you rise up together with the universe energies inside of you, you get that power within you. Well, you're going to find that you are unstoppable. But you have to deal with what? Get yourself out of the shadow. Get yourself out of these fears. Get yourself out of all these situations. Roll your sleeves and get to work. Be ready to do this work that you need to do. But what work, some of you will say, your best version of your own self. And that best version of your own self will lead to the best life you have as a current experience here. But it's going to require something, you to change. And the best power of this hour, as you see it in the diagram right here, guys, this is a 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The ascendant, the rising energies, they are in Aries. The North Node, it's in the first house, but the Chiron is in the 12th house. Chiron in 12th house, healing the spirituality within you by your own self from your own wounds. Who wounded you? You think the transformations, it's only a healing? The transformation first is going to be painful because he's going to show unhealed the wounds inside. That's what it's painful. And you don't have to fear the transformations. But if you fear the transformations, how can you heal? It's not going to happen. You either have a love or you have a pain. You can't have both. And talking about this, if you're following the love in the next hour, which is that's going to be at 4 p.m., the ascend and the rising energies, they are going within you. You see them, but the midheaven is at Capricorn. Your satisfactions of your work, now it pays off. You're proud of yourself. You're getting at this. Jupiter is in the 12th house, empowering everything. As you see, the 12th house is pretty big. So is the 6th house where the Venus is. Healing the body and healing the soul. But what do you have within the soul? You have the sudden changes, which is Uranus that it's there. You have Jupiter, who is the personal growth. You have the North Node that you're doing for a better future. You have a Chiron, which is you healing your own wounds and remove from this situations. Today I have some things that I did. I'll talk about this three V's. That is the victim, the victor, and the villain mentality. That's what you're a wounded healer. Okay. Nobody asks you to go help somebody who don't ask for your help, and then you get wounded, and then the person is a villain, and then you go back into that person. It's like, hey, I help you out, but you screw me up. Okay. Maturity. And talking about this, also you see it in your chart. The Neptune is in 12th house. There's a lot of going on, but those angel wings, those blue lines right here that it's created, you did your job, you did your preparations, you did your things that you had to get it done. Now you're satisfied. Now you're satisfied, and you put your authority and the warrior behind, because the warrior and the authority is suppressed by the karmic ruler Saturn, the teacher. So you have unhealed things that you need to heal before you go. Okay? And the things that you heal is the things that you hide. So talking about the next hour, that is going to be you're going to feel it in the air. Okay? That energies between Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The vibes, these powers. But they're all connecting with what? Venus, Mercury, and the midheaven there is at Aquarius. Okay? Talking about this first degrees of Aquarius, if you have something in there, you're definitely feeling it. All right? So stay tuned within. You need to understand the new energies are coming. And when the Aquarius season is going to come in, pretty soon you're going to start feeling this movement. And that movement comes from Pluto, who is responsible for the deep transformation. Pluto shifting signs, which is from Capricorn to Aquarius, you're going to begin to feel. But since the planets have about 7 degrees of effects and energy of the gravity, if you have something within the first degrees of Aquarius, you're going to begin to feel this revolution inside of you. And talking about this revolution, you're going to be finding out, because Pluto is going to give this divine energies as the visions in front of you, as the rising energies of the ascendant. As you see the divine, it's still active, those divine energies in there. Pretty much everything goes on, but it's going to triggers your emotions of what you express. Be mindful, the moon is squaring Neptune. What you see is not what it seems to be. Okay? Because if you see the things only from one perspective, you will never see it from another one. Talking about give the example before. If you see the cell phone, you don't see this side of the cell phone. Okay? But if you only react on this side, that makes you immature in a way. So there is a lot of things. Don't make a comments, don't make a situations that you are not fully aware of. Don't create unnecessarily drama. That's one thing. And talking about in the next hour, talking about this family time, you better be this family person, but be careful what are you creating within the family. Okay, talking about Venus squaring the ascendant in there. Some of the people who take things personally, that what about love? You do not doing this for me. You don't love me. You don't indulge me. You don't love me. You did about me destroy. You don't love me. Confirmations. Anyone? But talking about all this in there, if you are doing the proper communications in there at this hour, okay, we're talking about this is 7 p.m. And if you're home, be mindful how using your language because that moon squaring Neptune usually creates in a family scandals in there. Those are expressions that usually they're not pretty. Okay, we're talking about moon is in Sag, all the painters, all the writers, and so on. But when that square is Neptune, that foregrounds the visions of those expressions, and usually that leads to personality issues that you bring into others, and it creates things that should not be created. And talking about the next hour, if you did the right work, you see that beautifications in there. You don't, you overcome, you outgrow this. And as soon as you grow and outgrow, you don't engage with the lower energies. And the moon is not going to be affecting you because currently the ascendant that is at Cancer, if you see this green line towards the moon that is working with the universe, is on the top of the kite. So the universe is arranged everything for you. You to grow, you to mature, and you to learn how to act and behave as a mature spiritual personality within yourself that affects the spiritual, this personality performance on earth on the base of the spirituality. You do that, my heart goes with you. So, talking about later on at 9 o'clock, of course, you're going to be tested. You're going to be putting into there the ascendant who is at Leo. It's in divine energies with Venus and Saturn in there. Currently, there is a pretty much, you see like a green pentacle in there, green pentagram of that. Only thing that was missing is the moon is not in divine energies but the ascendant, it cannot be too far away from apart in that point. But talking about those energies currently, is you're gonna be looking at what it is for you. Me first, which is that gonna be comes in. Well, I want the love for me, meet heaven at Aries. I want mommy to take care of me. I want somebody to take care of me. I want somebody with while the Venus is out at Libra, the 8th degree, and she is like learn to self-love and don't worry about it. When the things has to happen, things has to happen. Talking about that trauma that when the baby cries right away and mom has to right away run. Oh, the baby's crying. Leave it to understand that the baby have to learn that that way you got to look at to some of the people within you that energies that what's happening in that case. I'm talking about that from within you when mom take care of you, you begin to become a weak within this. And you need to understand that sometimes you have to have the love within in yourself, not to be indulging to other people, but to help them to grow. Because sometimes when you give love, you don't help people to grow. You indulge them. And that is a one energies that has been around in the past, pretty much talking about 20 days. And of course, talking about this energy at 10 o'clock there, a lot of the people who have not grown, and they're like, this queen king mentality, like the man's, they are like the woman is the servant and she needs to cook, wash, and satisfies me. And for the female, the man has to come by and supports me, and I don't have to go to work. You see all those kind of like a mentality, are different than the mentality that is what I need to be wise, I need to be mature, and I have to get the things and help everyone surrounds me to mature. So that energy is going to be present in there and is going to be triggered, specifically talking about in the next hour. But look at it in yourself. You gotta be learning first of all to love yourself during this hour. We're talking about Venus is gonna be at the third house. That is, it represents Gemini, friendliness. Do you have a self love to yourself? In that case, and take a look at it. The Scorpion here is at the fourth house, which is represent Cancer. You bring this shadow, you bring this energies into your family on your own. Because when you bring it at that, the universe clarity says, this is not how I designed it. I designed the life to be beautiful, not this twisted, fake matrix situations. And some of you looking at into that. And this is why right now Uranus opposing the Sun and Mars is a lot about this shadow authority not to come out. But if you're coming out of the shadow with the truth, then the things are going to be better within yourself. But if you're trying to acting in there, you're going to be suppressed. And the karmic teacher is like, don't create unnecessary karma that you don't have to make it and deal with that later on. And of course, we're talking about the next hour, which is that's going to be 11 o'clock. You see the ascendant is divinely guided in there between Pluto and Neptune. You see that powerful hours of that energy in there. But that is going to be also intensified this Scorpio, Taurus, Leo situations, and since the descendant is over at Aquarius, it is about what are you afraid of? Because this is a unmovable science, stationary. Both, I mean, talking about Taurus, we're talking about Leo, we're talking about Scorpio, we're talking about this Aquarius. I'm staying on a one spot as Aquarius, and I'm gonna put this revolutions, and it doesn't matter what. Scorpio, oh, it's gotta be my way. I'm the warrior. Leo, I am the king. Everything has to go as I said. Taurus, I'm provider and don't make me anything else. All I worry about is providing. I'm not moving from here. I'm like this mountain. Can't move the mountains. You can evolve. You can evolve within the mountains, create some trees. As Leo, you can be the King Leo, the proper Lion King. As a Scorpio, you can be the warrior that is protector. And as an Aquarius, you're here to create the new path. And that's what I'm leaving you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Come back tomorrow for another Astro Gravitational Report and Wisdom here, guys. Be love.